if you're late from one class to another, it's probably a good idea to get like a note or something from your teacher just in case your teacher was the reason why you're late, instead of explaining to the teacher why you're late, because your whole class doesn't always know where you are and stuff, especially if they're in the same class as you. So just a good idea, just so the teacher has a idea that you're not making an excuse for being late, because if you explain it, it may sound like you're making an excuse. So good thing to think about. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and I apologize if I sound weird. My nose is a little bit sniffly because I'm getting over a cold. But anyway, today in this video, I have a story time for you. Yes, another story time about the time my friend almost missed science class, and because she was late, and half her class didn't know where she was, which was kind of weird because they were all in the same class as her. So this is a story about how my friend was late for science class, and she had to tell the teacher why she was late, and the teacher had asked why everyone was late, why she was late, but where she was, but everybody knew she was at school, but nobody knew where she was, so because she didn't have like a note or anything. So this is a story just to teach you guys, if you're ever late from one class to another, it's probably a good idea to get a note from your teacher, so then you have proof of why you're late, because sometimes if you explain why you're late, some teachers will think you're making an excuse. So just probably a good idea just to make sure to get a note from a teacher just in case you're late from one class to another. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. And because I won't be using names for safety purposes, we're going to give my friend a name and call her Cut Science Class because she missed science class. So this all started about 21 years ago, about 21 years ago, excuse me. 21 or 22 years ago, I was in the 5th grade. I show up to my science class, and then my science class was divided into groups of like 10, but there were 3 groups of 10 because we had like 30 people, because we did have to share the classes with another class, and we kind of like were divided into certain groups. So there were 10 people from there, so we had like 20 people in 3 groups, because we had like 30 people in one class and 30 people in another. And so everybody was divided into groups of 10 in the class, so they had to put people in these separate groups because they couldn't have the whole class in one room because they could only fit a certain amount of people. So anyway, that day we had science, and we're in science class, and my teacher notices that one of the students from the other classes is missing, and this student happened to be one of my friends, and we're gonna give her a name. We'll call her Cut Science Class in this video just because she had missed science class. So he starts asking her whole class Cut Science Class is, and everybody looks at him like shrugging their shoulders, and they're like,
"We don't know."
So I look at everybody in that class kind of weirdly, like, what do you mean you don't know? Know where she is, because she was already missing science class, and nobody knew where she was. Nobody who was in her class knew where she was, and she was missing part of science class. So my teacher doesn't want to wait, and he continues to teach the science class. And I don't remember what we were learning that day. I think we were maybe learning about something about omnivores, or were we doing something like what were we doing? I don't remember what we were doing that day, but I know we were doing something very educational in science class. So my teacher just continues to teach the class. Then in the middle of class, Cut Science Class shows up, and science class is almost over, and my teacher asked Cut Science Class where she was, and I think what she said was and she didn't have like any kind of note or anything. I think what she said was she was either talking to her teacher, or maybe she had to do some testing that day, or she was finishing up a test for class. So I don't even remember why she said she was not there, but she didn't have like some kind of note from her teacher. So I think my teacher did, and I think her teacher did end up emailing the science teacher telling him why she was late. I don't remember why, but she didn't have some kind of pass or anything from a teacher explaining why she was late from class, but she did tell him why she was late, and he did make her go sit down. He was very nice about it, despite the fact he was irritated that none of her classmates knew where she was. And although we had already started the class, my teacher continues to teach the science class while cut science class was there, and he did also keep her updated with what she had missed in the class, which was a good thing. So the moral of the story is, if you're ever late from one class to another, it's good to probably have a note from a teacher, especially if you're in middle school, because if you kind of also explain why you're late, the teacher will probably think if you're making an excuse, but sometimes a teacher will always send a note to the teacher of why that person was late. So I'm so sorry, my nose is a little bit stuffy because I'm getting over a cold. And it's just a good idea just to always have like a note from another teacher just in case you're late from one class to another. So then, because if you just try to explain why you're late, especially if the teacher asks you, you should always just have proof of why you were late, just to be safe, because if you just explain it, the teacher will think you're making an excuse up. So that was a story about how my friend almost missed science class and none of her classmates knew where she was. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye! If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well as subscribe.